So Jacob's going to help my brother-in-law get a moose, but I'm going to jump inside the house and see if I can get some work done in our guest room.
The girls did a great job of holding down the fort last week while we were caribou hunting. This week I'm going to take off again. I got a brother-in-law that came to me and asked me if I could go moose hunting with him. This moose hunt is definitely going to be pretty challenging. Robert, not ever been on a moose hunt, and Hayes, which is 4 years old. And a big challenge is taking a young kid out in the woods, is teaching him how to be quiet, how to dress properly. All these things come into play. There's a lot of things you have to think of. I want my kid to go out there and experience all these things that I did as a kid. Definitely got my work cut out for me, but I can tell you that if anything, we're going to go out there and we're going to have a blast doing it.
Really pleased. The guest room, we still got a lot of work to do. I need to build nightstands on each side, and I was thinking over in this area some sort of closet, something so people can come in and hang up their backpacks or bags. Over here I wanted to build a small mini coffee bar / kitchenette. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but just something so our guests can make their own coffee. Maybe a microwave or a mini fridge. They can store a couple of drinks in here, and you know, just they don't feel like coming upstairs bright and early. You know, they can take care of themselves down here. So, and then I want to do a comfortable chair over here, and then we need to put in a door there. This is we designed our house. We left an opening so you can sweep the chimney from inside the house. So that's what this is here.
Hayes, what are you doing?
Sounding like a moose.
What's the moose sound like?
Wah, wah, wah.
Okay, so do a bull grunt.
What?
Do a bull grunt. Let's hear what is bull grunt.
I don't know.
It goes.
What?
It goes.
Wah.
Yeah. What's a cow sound like?
It's been super challenging with a newborn to try to tackle projects and get back to work, but I think we're finally there. So I'm going to start working on a nightstand today for our guest room, and going to basically build a carcass out of 3/4 inch plywood, and I'll cut the legs out just to kind of make it look like it has legs on the sides, and then we'll add a face frame to the front and then a top in a drawer. So I went ahead and cut all of my boards on a compound miter saw, except for the plywood panels. I cut that on our table saw. You can also use a circular saw to cut the boards as well. Table saw is a lot easier. And then I used a jigsaw to cut out the bottom of the 3/4 inch plywood. So one cool thing about this nightstand is making plywood easier to work with. So you don't want to waste it and you want to minimize the number of cuts. So what I do in most of my plans is I'll make all the plywood cuts the same width. So you'll just be able to take the plywood and rip it into one strip. This one I think is 15.5 inches. And then from there just cross cut. So it's minimal waste, minimal cutting, and more time to build. So I'm going to get started putting these together. Alright, so the carcass is done, and now the leg. What I'm using here is just off-the-shelf whitewood boards. You can use a higher end board, but we actually end up getting some really good pine boards that work really well and they accept paint really well. So that's what we use for a lot of our projects. For the face frame, what we've done is a pocket hold. Face frame is done, and this will go on the front of the cabinet.
So moose is one of these things that I've grown up with a full freezer pretty much my whole life, and we kind of almost depend on it. You know, we don't have, we have a store, but you know, obviously we don't go buy beefsteaks all the time. And this early season hunt, this moose, if we do get one, it's going to be super tasty. So, you know, I'm hoping that that we bag a moose, because I can tell you what, a full freezer going into October is really nice.
There's the carcass and then the face frame, just like that. And I'll just nail that on, but I'm going to work on the top real quick. That'll get glued and nailed to the top.
What's that? What's wrong with them? Hurts. Why? Huh? What'd you do with it? So I'm super happy with my son. He did really good. He's super quiet in the wood. He's like really whisper quiet talking, and I really, it's fun to watch him, like, you know, be that way in the woods. To put the stock on the moose this year, he's like, "What's a stock?" I'm like, "Well, it's when you sneak up on the moose, you know?" And he's like, "Oh." Not brag, but he's 4 years old, and in the 4 years, he has been on 4 different moose kills. Go figure that, right? He's 4 years old. What do you got?
Nothing.
Huh?
Nothing.
In a nice warm tent. Getting things packed up. We're gonna take the moose home today. Found a shed yesterday. Mountains are beautiful, all snow-capped. My brother-in-law, he's kind of new to the family, but super nice guy, and I had a lot of fun hunting with him on this moose we stalked on. It was about a half a mile, maybe a little more than that, stalking through like muddy, swampy country. It was nasty. Hayes actually got his boot full of water halfway through it, and like, so, I mean, we had our challenges, and you know, to come out successful, it was definitely super exciting for Robert. That was his first moose he's ever shot in his whole life. He's 58 years old. You're never too old to do something new, and now he's got a full freezer full of meat going into winter, and they're super excited about that.
Jacob made it back from his big hunting trip and he's exhausted, but he immediately got handed a baby and he's taking care of the baby while I continue working.
Hey, on the way to dinner, we watched Grace, and then me and Bo, there was a bear running after us.
There was a bear running after you?
So we just run and run.
You heard this story? This time I ran a bear over with my Explorer. I saw the bear out of the corner of my eye and I was like, it's that bear, it's not gonna run at me. And it gets to the yellow line and I'm only doing like 30 at this point, I'm driving really slow. And the bear, instead of deciding to turn around and go the other way, it just darts underneath my hood. Okay, we got the back, and I am going to hold off putting the top on until after I get the drawer done. I woke her up with a saw.
She's alright.
I'm very sorry.
She's happy.
Very sorry. So bad. We live in rural Alaska and I can't just pick up a drawer slide at the hardware store here. It has to be ordered or I have to put the baby in the car seat and drive all day to get one, so it's not worth it. So I'm going to improvise. We have this metal angle and it's pretty easy to cut and work with. So what I'm thinking, and I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to give it a try, is I'll go like this. Never done this before. Try it out, see how it goes. Jacob's taking over my project. I'm gonna start building that drawer. Needs a knob, and you know what we probably also need is like something to keep it from tipping out on somebody. So it feels so good to finally tackle a project this week, even though it's a small one. I'm super thrilled and excited and I've got all these ideas racing in my head of all the things I'm gonna do in this guest room. So do stay tuned and check back next Monday and see what we do to transform this. Thanks for watching, we'll see you next week.